Hello, hello. I have been absent for a while. I've been meaning to post for ages, and I promised you guys um, a video about the side effects of tamoxifen. And to be honest, I don't remember if I did it. Still got, you know, you could call it all sorts of things. You can call it cancer brain, you can call it menopause brain, you could just call it tired. Um, anyway, I have been meaning to post about the side effects of tamoxifen for a while. But the trouble is the side effects have been that bad. I've been too tired to actually post. I've been quite unwell. And we just thought it was all tamoxifen side effects. And I had to talk to my oncologist, and it was just like, yeah, that can happen. Um, and it's the side effects I'm talking about is hellish insomnia. I was struggling anyway, but the insomnia has just been outrageous, and on bad nights I can go for a couple of nights in a row where I'm getting maybe 3-4 hours sleep, and I'm up 3 or 4 times during that 3 or 4 hours, and then I just can't sleep during the day, and that's just part of it. And so even when I do sleep, the fatigue just never leaves. There's been other things like, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, is I've had a bit of a cough for about a year, and it's gotten quite a bit worse, and the chest is tight and all of that sort of stuff. And there's been, just peeing, 5-6 times a night. And what other side effects are there? There've been quite a few. The tremor has been worse, and gaining weight, and just exhausted. Just feel like shit all the time. And these are all potential side effects, and I know I'm missing a couple, but I'll mention them if I remember them. And they're all potential side effects of the tamoxifen. And I've been in support groups and stuff like that, and there's all sorts of other ones as well. And it's just been getting on top of me. And the tamoxifen, for those of you who don't know, is it's a hormone suppressing drug that some women are put on after breast cancer if the breast cancer is hormone positive and the women haven't reached menopause yet. And what it does is it forces you into a medical menopause. So it's pretty shit. And I've been really struggling. So what I'd done a week or two ago now is my oncologist sort of went, yeah, that's normal, don't worry about it, we'll see you in 9 months. I just really wasn't happy with that response because I was starting to want to make the decision about whether or not I stay on the drug, or whether or not I trust that my lifestyle is good enough to help prevent the cancer coming back. So I went to my GP and I insisted on some tests, and all of the tests that we actually ran for the symptoms, all the standard blood tests. I had ultrasounds and stuff like that of the bladder, the uterus, because stomach pain, lots and lots of like lower stomach pain. For the ladies, that pain you get on the first day of your period, where it just aches and it hurts to touch and stuff like that constantly. And so we did all of that, and ultrasounds on the kidneys. Everything came back clear, except what they discovered was a lump, cyst type lump, about this big, on the top of my kidneys in the adrenal glands, and nobody was expecting that. And so I had more tests last week, and turns out I've got an appointment. It was referred from my GP, referred it straight to a specialist oncology group to have a look at it, because it wasn't presenting like anything that was understandable. Given my history, having had cancer twice, it was referred straight off, and they got back to me, the oncology group got back to me this morning and just went, yeah, we want to see you Monday. And so it's been quite sobering. And we're at this point where it's 4.3 centimeters big, and it may not be cancer again, but it might be. And it really just sits you on your ass to have that phone call come through. And I'm quite forward about this, and my GP is great, and I just went, are you telling me this is likely cancer again? And he said, look, I can't tell you it is, but I can't tell you it's not. So it's got to be looked at. And as of today, this afternoon, the general consensus that I can gather at the moment, without going to see this next group of specialists, is that they're going to want to run some more tests, because from what I understand, these sorts of lumps, cysts, lumps, these sorts of things in the adrenal glands, once they get to a certain size, they can start producing their own hormones. And depending on which particular hormones they produce, you'll get side effects from that. And it turns out that one of the hormones that this thing could be producing gives you the same side effects as the tamoxifen. And it gives you the same side effects as menopause. So it's one of those things that can go unnoticed until it's actually quite damaging, and because it looks like everything else. So where we're at the moment is, I believe there'll be more tests to see what hormones it's producing, how that's impacting me. And I've been left believing at this point that there will be more surgery to get it out of my system. What I was told is that nobody believes I'm in any sort of direct, there's no immediate harm to me, so to speak, in that if it is cancer again, it hasn't spread to the surrounding organs. So that if it is cancer again, it does appear to be contained, and it may just be a case of an operation and some further treatment. And to work out why it's there, whether or not something has metastasized, that even though the brain tumour was benign and the breast cancer was a grade 1, and they believe they got it all, I mean, it has something metastasized to go there, or is it a completely new thing? Because cancer of the adrenal glands is incredibly rare, from what I understand. So I'm in for a whole lot of tests, and we start those next week. So it's been a bit of a sobering time, and I'm still exhausted. I'm constantly just exhausted. But hopefully we can get some answers, and it's part of the cancer journey is that this can happen, and it just shows up. It just shows up again, and you get some tests for something else, because here I am going, all right, do I have a UTI? Do I have, what's happening with the insomnia? Is it just a matter of, can I take some herbs for it or something like that? I was in that sort of mindset going, are these the problems I'm facing, and do I look at a different type of drug for the cancer, for the breast cancer and stuff like that? And all of a sudden this, potential further cancer just comes whipping at you sideways. And it's been like that the previous times as well. The brain tumour we had no idea. Nobody was looking for that. They just did an MRI because I'd had a seizure, and when they took my history, they've just gone, oh, look, we think you've had epilepsy your whole life, but it's just so mild that you don't tend to notice it, because I get absent seizures. And so that's all they were just doing, a precautionary MRI, and all of a sudden, there's an inch big brain tumour in the middle of my head. And so this is a little bit the same. So how am I feeling? Anxious. There's a fair amount of fear. I'm quite scared. And it's funny, part of me is not so much scared about it being cancer again. I'm scared about the process. I'm scared about more surgery, because if I've got to go into surgery again, that will be my 5th surgery in about 8 months. And I don't want to go through that again. I certainly do not want to go through radiation therapy again. I haven't had chemo, but I don't want to do that either. So it's quite sobering. So on tenterhooks again. I know I've reported that in one of the earlier videos when we were waiting for breast cancer tests and stuff like that, but I'm back in that place, not knowing what's happening. Other than just a general overview, there is something this big in my abdomen, and something needs to be done about it. And we just go from there. So yeah, we'll keep you updated. I was rather hoping to just sort of, wean off these videos over time, to just be able to go, yeah, I'm fine, and the side effects are settling down, and nothing's coming back, and it's really good, and thank you for your support. And I certainly had not thought for a minute I'd be back on going, yeah, there's something else. But that's my journey. That is what has been laid before me. Like I said, we don't know if it's cancer at this point. We know that it's very dubious, and they're suspicious. So fingers crossed, we might excuse me, we might get some more tests done. We are. And it may just come back and go, no, it's just weird and we don't know what it is, but it's not cancer, but let's get it out anyway. That's sort of the best case scenario we're hoping for at this point. So good luck to anyone who's watching these who is going through the journey. My heart's out there with you. I know exactly what it's like, the waiting, the unknown, the fear. Yeah, and for anyone who's supporting people who are going through this, I know how hard it is for you guys too, that you feel helpless, that you feel impotent, that you feel that, sometimes that just giving a hug isn't enough. And I can tell you it is. It is. It's more than enough. Just be there. Listen for the 10th time, if that's what it takes, while they talk about it. Don't ever tell someone with cancer or going through cancer not to worry about it. Worst possible thing you can do. I think the best possible thing you can do is just go, you know what, this is just scary as fuck. And that's okay. It's okay. And I'm here with you. If you can say that to someone going through cancer, you know what, it's going to mean the world to them. So I will touch base soon. You guys look after yourselves. We'll be back soon.